So here next question, this question asked from quantity theory of gases. 0.1 mole of gas at 200 Kelvin is mixed with 0.05 moles of same gas at 400 Kelvin. If a final temperature is equal to T naught, then the value of temperature will be okay. Here two gases are mixed. Now we are going to calculate individual initial energies of two gases. Okay, energy in first gas is equal to how much? F by 2 N1 or T1 before mixing. Now we calculate before mixing the individual energies. Energy in second gas. Okay, now here F by 2 N2 or T2. Okay, here gas is same, so the degrees of freedom is also same. So total energy after mixing is equal to F by 2 into total number of moles N1 plus N2 into R. What is the common temperature here? T. That is nothing but T naught. Okay. Now under the energy conservation, these two equations are equal. F by 2 N1 or T1 plus F by 2 N2 or T2 is equal to F by 2 into N1 plus N2 or T. Okay. F by 2 cancel, R cancel. N1 T1 plus N2 T2 is equal to N1 plus N2 into T. So T is equal to N1 T1 plus so N2 T2 divided by N1 plus N2. Now substitute, we are going to substitute these all values. So T is equal to here N1 0.1 mole into T1 200 plus N2 0.05 moles into T2 400 kelvins divided by total number of moles 0.1 plus 0.05. Okay. Now we calculate here 200 into 0.1 20, 400 into 0.05 20 by 0.15. That is equal to here we get 266.67 kelvins. This is the answer. Okay. Now let us discuss another question. An air bubble of radius 1 centimeter in a water has upward acceleration of 9.8 centimeter per second square. The density of the water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. The mass of the bubble is. So this is the air bubble. This air bubble is in a water. So that water is apply buoyancy force in upward direction. Its weight is acting downward direction. It has an upward acceleration of A. Okay, now we want to find out what the mass of the bubble, this air bubble. So here we write equation FB minus mg is equal to ma. F buoyancy force is equal to m into g plus a. Now we want to find out what mass of the air bubble. Mass of the air bubble is equal to buoyancy force divided by g plus a. So mass is equal to, what is the buoyancy force here? V, volume of the body into, volume of the bubble into density of the liquid rho L into G by G plus A. G plus A. Now we calculate mass of the air bubble. M is equal to volume of the bubble is nothing but 4 by 3 pi r cube. 4 by 3 pi r cube into density of the liquid. Here they gave density of the liquid, they gave 1. They gave here 1 into G value, they gave 980 divided by 980 plus what is the upward acceleration here? 9.8. So M is equal to 4 by 3 into 3.14 into R is nothing but 1 centimeter. 1 into 980 divided by 980, 9.8. So M is equal to, by doing the calculation, we get here 4 by 3 into 3.14 into 1. Okay. So we get mass of the body is nothing but 4.14 grams. This is the tough problem in the calculation point of view. These calculations are difficult. Okay. Right. So another question asked from modern physics. A particle of mass m by 2 is moving along the x-axis with a velocity v0. Collides elastically with another particle of mass m by 3 at rest. If both particles move along the x-axis after the collision, the change in delta lambda, change in wavelength of the particle A in terms of its de Broglie wavelength lambda naught before the collision is. Okay, this is a particle of mass m by 2 which is moving with velocity v0. It strikes another particle of mass m by 3 which is at rest. After collision, the first particle is moving with velocity how much? v1. And we don't consider second particle according to problem. Now what they ask here, change in wavelength, change in de Broglie wavelength, change in de Broglie wavelength. So here lambda naught is equal to h by m by 2, mb naught h by m by 2 into v naught. This is the initial de Broglie wavelength of a particle of mass m by 2. Okay, right. After collision with the second particle of mass m by 3 which is at rest, the first particle is moving with velocity v1. So here v1 is equal to, we get formula 2m2 u2 by m1 plus m2 plus m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1. After collision, velocity of the first particle v1 is equal to, here the second particle is initially at rest before collision, so that this term 0. m1 means m by 2 minus m2 is m by 3 divided by m by 2 plus m by 3 into u1. So u1 means what here? v0. u1 is equal to v0. So v1 is equal to here, v1 is equal to here 6 LCM 3m minus 2m divided by here 6 also LCM 3m plus 2m into v0. Okay, now v1 is equal to m by 6 into 6 by 5m into V naught. Cancel, 6 cancel, V naught by 5. V naught by 5. So here lambda 1 is equal to, that means de Broglie wavelength after collision. De Broglie wavelength of first particle after collision, lambda 1 is equal to h by m by 2 into V1. So lambda 1 is equal to h by m by 2. V1 means how much? V naught by 5. V naught by 5. So lambda 1 is equal to, we write that here, 5h by m by 2 into V naught. Okay. Lambda 1 is equal to, this can be written as what? 5 lambda naught. 5 lambda naught. Delta lambda, change in wavelength, is equal to lambda 1 minus lambda naught. 5 lambda naught minus lambda naught. That is equal to how much? 4 lambda naught. This is our answer. Okay, next question. The specific heat of water is equal to 4200 joule per kg per Kelvin, and latent heat of ice is equal to 3.4 into 10 to the power of 5 joule per kg. 100 grams of ice at 0 degrees centigrade is placed in 200 grams of water at 25 degrees centigrade. The amount of ice will melt as temperature of water reaches to 0 degrees centigrade. Okay, this is the direct question. This is hot water of mass is equal to how much? 200 grams. 200 grams at 25 degrees centigrade. Now a piece of 100 grams of ice is placed inside a water which is at 0 degrees centigrade. This is 100 grams. Then what happens? The amount of ice will melt is, whenever this ice piece is placed in hot water, then definitely there is a transfer of heat from hot water to ice. Okay, so hot water lost heat and ice gain heat. Heat lost by hot water is equal to ms delta T. Okay, M means hot water, 200 grams. This should be converted into kilograms. 1000 divided by 1000. Yes, specific heat of water 4200 delta T. What is the temperature difference of water? Water loses heat. Okay, so that its temperature falls from 25 to 0, 25. That is equal to here, how much we get? 21,000 joules. Okay, due to this heat, some amount of ice is melt. Okay, heat gain by ice. Heat gain by ice is equal to m into L. M is the mass of the ice melt. L is latent heat. So according to principle of mother of mixtures, these two are equal. Heat lost by hot water equal heat gained by ice. M into L is equal to 21,000. So we want to find out M, 21,000. What is the value of L by L? 3.4 into 10 to the power of how much? 5. So by calculating this equation here, we get 61.7 grams. 61.7 grams. So here next we discuss another problem based on the moment of inertia. ABC is plane lamina of the shape of an equilateral triangle. D comma E are midpoints of AB and AC. AB and AC. And G is centroid of lamina. Centroid of lamina. Moment of inertia of a lamina about axis passing through G and perpendicular to plane ABC is I naught. If part ADE is removed, the moment of inertia of the remaining part about the same axis is n I naught by 16, where n is the integer. Then what is the value of n? He asks. Okay. Now we are going to solve that problem. Imagine this plane lamina is the combination of four equilateral triangles. Four equilateral triangles. So it is the combination of four plane laminas. The moment of inertia of a plane lamina ABC about an axis G is, let us assume I naught, that is equal to mass into length of the square. I naught is equal to ml square. The moment of inertia of a plane lamina ABC about an axis G, I naught is equal to ml square. Okay. So this is equation 1. Now this DEF moment of inertia is different compared to these three plane laminas. Why? Because this mass is very close to the centroid. So that let us assume the moment of inertia of this DEF is nothing but I1. I1 is equal to mass is nothing but m by 2. This is this mass is m by 2. Okay. And this length is nothing but how much? L by 2 whole square. L by 2 whole square. That is equal to what we write here? We write here ml square pi. ml square pi. Oh, sorry. This mass is m by 4. M by 4. Total mass is m. Okay. That mass of the plane lamina is divided into 4 equal plane laminas, each of mass m by 4. So moment of inertia of this one is m by 4 into L by 2 whole square, that is equal to ml square by 16. Equation 2. Equation 2. Now the moment of inertia of remaining three, this one, this one, this one, are different from this one, DEF. So the moment of inertia of plane lamina ADE, BDF and FEC both are equal. So let us assume that the moment of inertia of each plane lamina is I2. We write that here I2 plus I2 plus I2, that is equal to 3I2. 3I2 plus 3I2 plus this part moment of inertia I1 is equal to total moment of inertia of a plane lamina, that is equal to I naught. Okay. Now so here 3I2 plus what is I1 here, ml square by 16, that is equal to I naught by 16, that is equal to I naught. Right. Here 3I2 is equal to I naught minus I naught by 16, that is equal to 15 by 16 into I naught. So I2 here is equal to 5 by 16 into I naught. 5 by 16 into I naught. So we successfully find out I2, I1, I naught. Now if this part is removed, ADE part is removed, which part remains? DE CB part is remain. Now we want to find out this moment of inertia. So in DEBC there are 3 plane laminas. So the moment of inertia of this plane lamina is I2, this plane lamina is I2, and this one is I1. Okay. So total moment of inertia of TEBC is I2 plus I2, 2I2 plus I1 is equal to, okay, that is equal to 2 into, what is I2 here? 5 by 16 into I0. What is I1 here? I0 by 16. That is equal to 10 by 16 into I0 plus I0 by 16. That is equal to here 11 by 16 into I0. 11 by 16 into I0. According to given problem, in problem they gave the moment of inertia of a remaining part is n into I0 by 16. N into I0 by 16. Okay. Now 16 cancel, I0 cancel. Clearly we say that the value of n is 11. Very important problem it is, asked in September paper. Okay. So next question we are going to discuss. Match Cp by Cv ratio for ideal gases with different types of molecules. Okay. So we are going to match that one. For example, for monoatomic gas, how many degrees of freedom are monoatomic gas? For monoatomic, F is equal to, monoatomic is 3. Monoatomic is 3. So Cp by Cv is equal to 1 plus 2 by F. That is equal to 1 plus 2 by 3. That is equal to 5 by 3. Right. For diatomic rigid molecule, what we write here, diatomic molecule, Cp by Cv is equal to 1 plus 2 by, what is the degrees of freedom for diatomic molecule? 5. So 1 by 5. Right. For diatomic non-rigid molecule, diatomic non-rigid molecule. So for diatomic non-rigid, for diatomic non-rigid, degrees of freedom are, since it is non-rigid, one more degree of freedom is, that is vibrational degrees of freedom. So in vibrational degrees of freedom, energy is obtained by 2 modes, due to the kinetic energy and due to the potential energy. Okay, molecule possesses 2 energies in vibrational degrees of freedom, that is potential energy and kinetic energy. Total is 7 degrees of freedom. So Cp by Cv is equal to 1 plus 2 by 7. That is equal to 9 by 7. 9 by 7. For triatomic rigid, F is equal to, triatomic rigid is nothing but 6. So Cp by Cv is equal to 1 plus 2 by 6. That is equal to, here we get, what we get here, 6 plus 2, 8 by 6. That is equal to, we get 4 by 3. 4 by 3. So now match these degrees of freedom. Monoatomic, what we get answer? 5 by 3. So A4. For diatomic molecule, what we get? 7 by 5. Okay. For diatomic non-rigid molecule, what we get here? 9 by 7. For the triatomic rigid molecule, we get what? 4 by 3. 4 by 3. This is the answer. Okay.